Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with a twist, with a slight twist, with us, the British Fist.
Catching. Stand up and say, what's up?
Just guys, I just want you to comment quickly on NJ's shirt. Isn't it amazing? It's been good. The twist this week is going to be, as you can see in the title, we're going to be addressing WWE Network questions and talking a little bit about the WWE Network in a topical style fashion, while also answering a lot of your questions about it, as we've had a flood of questions coming in about this big announcement from WWE, and it's really something we definitely need to address in a video, I feel.
Because when it comes to WWE, their bright ideas to move their company forward, hence why they've gone to social media so heavily. Now they've gone to more of a wider range of bringing back all the classical ideas. Obviously, it's going to be a big talking point building up to it, and once it's been released.
Yeah, the big question will be, will this WWE Network actually work? If you have any other questions, don't ask us questions about the WWE Network now. We're going to address them all in this video. If you have any questions elsewhere, please put them in the comment section below. We had at Mark the Fish, the 299, and WWE and TNA Talk ask us, what do you think of the WWE Network? You know, why don't we just go through some of the things this network is going to offer us first? It's a live 24/7 streaming service, which is similar to Netflix, which would be on the internet. It's $9.99 a month, dollars-wise. It's £7 a month for us, with a 6-month commitment. They're going to stream all 12 WWE pay-per-views, access to 1,500 hours of WWE's video library, which includes WCW, The Attitude Era, ECW, etc. Will be available through desktop, laptop, the WWE app, the Kindle Fire, Android operating system, PS3 and 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, smart TVs in the summer. You've got NXT, which is going to be brilliant for me. You've got Superstars, pre- and post-shows, WWE exclusive programs such as Legends House, WrestleMania Rewind, and the Monday Night War, which is good. And it's also being launched on February the 24th, just in time for WrestleMania 30. So what do we think of this WWE Network? Well, let's first look at the pricing. Look at what you get for $9.99 a month, and that's £7 a month for us, even with a 6-month commitment.
Thing is, when I first heard the price, I thought, are the WWE... They may benefit from it, but the fact that you're getting huge pay-per-views for such a cheap price.
I guess it depends really on how many people how many people subscribe to the WWE Network. If they get like 2 million, 3 million people subscribing to it, which is essentially their weekly, just below their weekly TV audience for a Raw, or just about their average audience for a SmackDown, then they can make a lot of money out of it. Because they'd only really get 1 million buys for, say, WrestleMania, and then maybe 500,000 buys for Royal Rumble, 200,000 buys for other pay-per-views, etc., such as Survivor Series. So that really does depend on that. But more on that later. We're just focused now on the facts we've got here. It looks like great value for money for us, doesn't it? All 12 WWE pay-per-views. I mean, essentially, it's for 12 months you're going to be spending $120, which is essentially 2 or 3 WWE pay-per-views. Yet you can get all 12 WWE pay-per-views, as well as the WWE's video library whenever you want to see it. So, that is pretty damn. It's like having your own DVD collection inside your laptop, essentially.
That's what I find quite good, because when the WWE want to avoid piracy and stuff, they've got it there so people don't have to pirate their product. But the thing is, when they sell DVD, let's say they sell the Royal Rumble 2002, people could just watch it on the internet instead of having to pay.
But it would mean they would subscribe $9.99 a month, which over, let's say, 6 to 12 months would be a lot more than costing a DVD, definitely.
I guess you could look at it that way. It's just obviously when they sell off their DVDs, hopefully, obviously, it'll balance out. But I think, to be honest, it looks like it's going to be a good benefit for money if you wanted to watch a certain Raw, SmackDown pay-per-view. Indeed,
or which are combined into both now. But if you look at the financials here, I mean, they're putting a lot of money into this, and we'll touch on this a little bit more in a later question, but they're putting a lot of money in this, so this is a make or break thing for WWE. You've got this WWE Network thing, it's revolutionary. I mean, the WWE, this is the first time this has ever been done on this scale in the wrestling business. So you look at Vince McMahon's vision, you understand why he then bought WCW, the ECW libraries, and why they've been pouring out the WWE app, etc., as it's going to be made available through there. But this is one of those things that Vince McMahon has done that could be incredibly successful, but it could also be a failure because they pumped so much money into it. What if they don't get their money back?
I think, to be honest, the fact that there's so much involved in this network, it's going to have everything you want to know about wrestling business or the WWE, WWF
24/7
involved in this. I can't see much failing apart from the fact it's all via the internet.
Yeah, indeed, and that could be a bit of an issue with regards maybe if there's a pay-per-view streaming through as we've seen with ROH. I know WWE is a lot bigger than ROH, but if their internet crashes or you don't have internet, you don't have access to it, which is a bit of a shame. But the main selling point here for me is the price. I mean, you look at $9.99 or £7 for us in the UK. That is the biggest selling point of this, in my opinion. I mean, even if it was like maybe $20 a month, you'd still get great value for money if you take into account the WWE pay-per-views. That is the main selling point, in my opinion, for this, and what is essentially going to sell this WWE Network idea. I mean, even if they jack up the price to maybe $15 or $20 a month down the line.
I think at some point the price will go up, because when I first heard about the price, I personally thought it was too low for what they're giving us. So I expect it to go up once people are more involved with it, they see it works. But for now, I think the WWE could make a huge profit from this. Let's
just talk briefly about this, the video library. I mean, you've got, classic. They're going to be doing you've got classic matches, for example, from WCW. Attitude Era moments, WrestleMania moments, as well as the WWE exclusive programs such as WrestleMania Rewind and the Monday Night Raw War, which I am really looking forward to seeing, as that was a pivotal moment in the business. But you've got over 1,500 hours of WWE video library, which you can be able to watch. I'm guessing most of the things that have happened in WWE / maybe WCW, ECW history.
And the fact they're branching out so it can work on traveling devices like mobile and stuff, I think that's going to make it more valuable to viewers who want to see it as they travel. So I think it's going to be helpful.
Definitely a lot more accessible as well. I mean, not only can you watch it from your desktop, the WWE app, and we've been moaning about the WWE app, but you can watch it through that Kindle Fire, Android, even your Xbox One and PS4, etc., and smart TVs as well. So you've got all there. One thing that I like about it, for me personally, is the fact that I can watch NXT on there. And usually I watch NXT on Thursday nights and, get the review up by Saturday night. But, maybe if I watch it on Wednesday night, I can get a review out as soon as possible then, rather than having to wait till Saturday.
That could be a good way. And plus, yes, you viewers might say, but why don't you find a stream and stuff? But I think the fact that the WWE are putting it all into one place, but they're allowing their viewing, I think it's going to make it more easy for us to... Obviously, almost all I can do is reviews there and there.
So positive reviews all around, would you say?
At this moment in time, from the way they did their show, presenting it, the way that people are talking about it, the fact they put so much money and effort into it, yes.
It does look very good. The price is the big selling point, in my opinion. It's going to be launching on February the 24th, so just in time for WrestleMania 30. You know that WWE are going to pimp this out all the way through Raw. Probably more than they're probably going to pimp out WrestleMania, because they're probably going to make more money from this than WrestleMania this year. You never know, but there we go. I think this is the most pivotal question we're going to be asked in this Q&A from Will Keogh. Will you be purchasing the WWE Network? Given all the strengths, given all the things we talked about, for essentially £7 a month, would you fork out that much? Considering, everything that's, lifestyle and everything, and maybe how often you work, would you fork out £7 a month on buying the WWE Network?
There's a chance there might be bugs to begin with. I know they've put their high-tech analysts to sort it, but minus that could happen for a trial, because obviously you can put your money in, give it a go. There's a big chance I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say no. I mean, that's the thing about it. It's hard to say no. You look at the value you've got. It's like when you see 2 for the price of 1 in supermarkets. You think, wow, I've got to buy that. It's 2 for the price of 1. I'm getting 2 there for the price of 1. But essentially, on the WWE Network, you're getting all the pay-per-views for what costs 2 or 3 pay-per-views. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say no to that price. So that's probably why a lot of people will be purchasing it, and then why WWE will bump up the price down the line. So that's a yes from both of us.
I'm just looking out for obviously it's going to be probably DVD quality or something, but the quality of the streaming, because it's via the internet, that could be interesting. Obviously, the fact it's going to be worldwide, I think this is going to be an interest for me, even though obviously we're going to get it easier.
Yeah, we're going to get it a lot later as well. That's the problem in Britain. It's essentially going to be WWE's version of Netflix, essentially. And I don't know, I've never used Netflix, but I hear that's pretty good.
It is.
And Max Aguiar Ruiz asks, how much of an impact will the WWE Network have on the success of the business? A lot. And you know why? Because WWE have pumped nearly $200 million into this, which is about a fifth of what they're worth. So if this doesn't work, they're going to be losing. They're going to be either losing a hell of a lot of money, or they're going to be accessing and making a revolutionary new idea that could really positively impact the business for WWE, even though it will also make them even more of a monopoly than they are right now, and TNA and no other indie company are ever going to be able to compete with them.
It's only a small fact, but some people I've noticed, they watch Raw an hour later in some parts of the world. If this is going live, people in the countries who have to watch it later can watch it early. And I think it's going to impact more people watching it on the right time altogether. And obviously with the viewership, with the ratings, I think if more people tune into the network, it could benefit them.
Yeah, I guess one thing we might as well touch on this over here. They're still going to be airing Raw and SmackDown on cable, I believe. So they're still going to be getting the people watching those TV shows. As for the pay-per-view buy rates, the pay-per-view buy rates will be down a little bit, but I guess for every pay-per-view buy rate that you're down, you'll be gaining a subscription, which is probably worth at least $60, which is the price of a pay-per-view in your WWE network. So you make the money back there, essentially. So it will have a massive impact on the success of WWE's business. And props to Vince McMahon for actually, coming up with this idea, putting it out there. It could, have a major positive impact, or, it could be like the XFL and they could be counting their losses.
One thing is it's relevant but not relevant. Triple H managed to get someone into the Hall of Fame. Vince McMahon has agreed for this network to be a surprise factor. He's involving Lord Voldemort, which is only a small factor for this, but the fact that he's allowing this to happen now after few years now, I think that's going to interest some fans. Obviously, that's going to be included.
So, out of all the things you decided to talk about Lord Voldemort, okay.
Yes, that interests me.
But I think it will have it will have an impact on the pay-per-view industry in general, because more people are going to be watching it through the network, and much less people are probably going to be buying the pay-per-view, because the value for money is essentially for the pay-per-view. So essentially, the pay-per-view business will be affected from this as well in terms of WWE, even though they'll still be going through DirecTV and doing, still getting very involved in the pay-per-view business. But it'll have an impact there, and it'll have an impact on TNA, because they're not going to be able to get anywhere near them with this idea. It just shows you how much bigger of a company, even though we may not think they're doing that great, it just shows you how much of a bigger company WWE is compared to any other company out there in the wrestling business. It just shows you the golfing gap.
Sadly, I find it with Vince McMahon getting all this money and other wrestling companies not earning anywhere close to what Vince McMahon gets, he can make things like this happen. And I'm just waiting to see how much they punt this to us. Yes, it may not be annoying as tout and Twitter, because this is more positive than Twitter and tout. So I'm looking forward to the progress of this network.
And let's not also forget that this has been getting a lot of positiveness on the internet. A lot of people on the internet, including us, have been praising the WWE network, and a lot of people have been talking good things about this. So it's just in general given the more positive vibes to WWE. But lately, the vibes around WWE have generally been quite negative. Sadly, indeed. But there we go. Anything else you wanted to touch upon with this WWE network business before we move on?
The fact it's starting at WrestleMania, the fact it's probably one of the biggest WrestleManias they can offer us. I think that is something special and a memorable moment to plug this or bring this to life. And so I think, to be honest, it's going to be a good going forward to the WWE's new year.
I hope this is successful, because it is a damn good idea. And the praise to a man who had the balls to put all this money in, roughly around about $200 billion, as far as I can see.
And no longer on Linda.
And no longer on Linda's Senate campaign. That's essentially 4 Senate campaigns pumped into this new WWE network. Imagine if he didn't do the first 2, he could have saved himself $100 million.
And if this fails, then obviously he could have used all that money on his wife.
Indeed. If you have any comments on the WWE network, please let us know down in the comment section below. Like we said, we discussed all we can about the WWE network here. If you have any questions about the WWE network, and more specific questions, we will answer them in a future Q&A, but we thought we'd get the basic ones out of the way here. Plus, you can keep asking us questions in the comment section below, all other social networking means, as per usual, and we'll be carrying that normally on from next week. So thank you very much for watching this Q&A. If you have, I have been Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me, is NJ.
What's up?
See you later.